Mr. Dean Baxendale is a global columnist at Sunday Guardian. He is also a political and policy analyst. Mr. Baxendale is now joining us live from Toronto. Mr. Baxendale, thank you very much for making time for us, and it's good to see you again. What are the stakes for Mark and Pierre?
Well, first of all, thank you again for having me on your program to discuss everything Canada, everything Trump for this year's election. I think the stakes, obviously, for Pierre Poilievre are significant. Here's a person, the Conservative Party had a significant lead, not a lead unprecedented, quite frankly, in pre-election polling at 25%. The Liberal vote had collapsed to that of the NDP, and some had them even less than that. However, remarkable what 2 months, a change of leader, and Donald Trump threatening tariffs across the board and targeting Canada as a bad actor on this front, and Mark Carney's fortunes emerge and accelerate to such a level. Once again, we're racing approximately about 35 points almost from that original poll to where we're at today. But now we're getting down to, okay, Donald Trump was pulled back on the tariffs last week. Those are still an issue and are going to be an issue for Canada. Remember, Donald Trump and the administration's war is a war against China and their economic superiority in a number of different areas. But Canada's caught in between. We have been a proxy for China in Canada, ultimately in terms of trade and ultimately in terms of infiltration and influence operations. And Mark Carney is starting to be tarnished with his relationship, the party's relationship with pro-Beijing proxies and factions inside Canada, with two major scandals around the same riding. First with Paul Cheng and now with Mr. Yuan. So these are significant issues that voters are now concentrating on. However, polls suggest that Mark Carney is, Canadians view him as the best to take on Donald Trump and the threat from the United States, and see Pierre Poilievre and his adjacency to Trump-like policies and dogma to be a significant problem at this point in time.
Mr. Dean, very quickly as we wrap this discussion up, the focus now changes to the debate, the upcoming debate, the French debate and the English debate. And there are so many Canadians who are saying that Pierre will defeat Mark in the French debate, and then Mark will defeat Pierre in the English debate. What are Canadians saying about this debate and these three candidates, including Singh?
Yeah, so I mean, I think from Indian television's perspective, Jagmeet Singh, who obviously has had and is being tarnished with his, his adjacency to pro-Khalistani groups inside Canada, is running an interesting campaign. I'd say this is his last campaign because I think the NDP vote is going to collapse. He will try to do his thing, but let's be honest. This is a debate between Pierre and Mark Carney, and I think that Pierre certainly will win in the French debate. The issue there for Pierre and the Liberals, well, actually for Pierre, is that the vote has collapsed for Conservatives. It has collapsed for the Parti Québécois, and that vote has moved towards the Liberals, which allows them potentially to get a majority next time. However, it's why we have debates. And I think that Pierre Poilievre and the Conservatives will have some surprises during that debate that will catch Carney offside, especially on his relationship with China, his corporate investments with Brookfield. And I think that Canadians will start to see a contrast between the two leaders, and then people can really make the decisions that they need to make when they go to the polls.
All right, let's wait for the April 28th polls and see how things turn out. Dean Baxendale, we'll have to leave it there. Thank you for talking to us today.
Thank you for having me.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.